Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Ingrid Essawova joining us here again from Simply True. Excited to have her back here as one of the top 10 coaches from Arizona. She's joining us live here today to talk more about the work she does and, of course, how she can help you as an intuitive, as a coach, and really to help you get your life back on track. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure. I am well.
Great. So again, Ingrid Essawova Frisbee, your spiritual life recovery coach and also an intuitive. And tell us about Simply True. Introduce us to you and your world to start. And then I know we'll have a great conversation as we always do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you know what? I'm living my purpose. What else is there to do unless you're living your purpose, right? I get
Exactly.
people to connect to themselves because when they're disconnected, they experience fear, doubt, anger, frustration, disappointment, and we don't want that. When we're connected to ourselves, we are in joy and peace, unconditional love, and contentment. Wow, what a concept. Did we learn this in high school? No, we did not.
Yeah. You're right. We're going to learn it now today. Come on, as adults, there's so much to learn and we need this knowledge and you have
Of
that knowledge, Ingrid.
course. Of course. No, I absolutely agree. So it's, places like this where people can get educated on truth because we're not told the truth and we are afraid of the truth. Maybe we should talk about truth today, Jill.
Sounds simply true, my darling. Hint, hint.
Ah,
Website,
ah,
Simply True. Yes,
ah,
that's our site.
ah.
You are such a doll. Gosh,
It's like we write this stuff.
I know, right? We got a good flow, but you just got good energy, but you're just a beautiful being and spirit. And I mean, physically and
And
internally. So, I mean, if you guys can't see her, she's live on the podcast and the Zoomcast too. So, but really, I love speaking with you. So let's talk about truth. Go for it. I'm here.
well, truth is the most important part in spirituality. And you know what the universe gives all of us, regardless where we are in the world, regardless of race, religion, beliefs. Do you know what the universe gives us? And by the way, it's 24/7 and it doesn't cost a thing. This is quite interesting. I'll let you know what the
I'm like,
don't
what is it?
I do
I'm
not
like I'm
know.
getting air for free. I'm getting what else is
Yes,
free?
there you go. It has to do with truth.
Okay.
So when you are balanced and aligned physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you feel damn good.
Oh yeah.
Whoops,
Yeah.
I said a naughty word. You feel really great. When you are off a little bit physically
Mm-hmm.
or and emotionally or and mentally or and energetically, or maybe a combination of two of them or three of them or all of them,
Yeah.
that tells you a level of truth is missing.
Ooh. Okay.
So that tells you when you're unbalanced, when you're
Mm-hmm.
not, and let me give you examples. So if you're not feeling well physically,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah.
when your body's physically balanced and aligned, that means all the numbers are pretty much right on in
Yeah.
terms of, chemical and everything is working in your body. But when you have too much of something
Yeah.
or a lack of something,
And
you don't feel well.
mm-hmm.
See? That's physical. Let's go into emotional.
Okay.
When you're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
and you had a really nice day or whatever, and then you just sort of come and then something's happening, and suddenly you're not that much balanced or aligned because you're pissed,
Totally pissed off. Happens
right?
a lot. Yes. Uh-huh.
You're not balanced at that moment. So when you're triggered, you're not balanced or aligned.
True.
That means there is a level of truth missing.
Missing.
There's something you're not getting. So, when you walk in energetically, when you walk into a room or you go to an area and you're having a really bad feeling about something and you can't pinpoint it and it's not logical,
That
and you're like, no, 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 no,
energy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
something's off, something's off.
Yeah.
That's energetically. Or when you meet someone and they look really nice and they're really sweet, but oh, there's something about them, you can't pinpoint it, but there is something fishy about this person. It's the same thing. Do you see how we get unbalanced and unaligned? But that is a gauge for us to pay attention. It is a gauge for us to pay attention that something is off, and let's bring awareness to the table. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But when you're confronted with someone like that, you feel that bad energy and you got to work with them like they're your boss. This happened years ago for me. There's just something about her that I never liked, and it was so weird and dark. Long story short, they never renewed my contract. And then ironically, I'm working at another television station now. She comes over as my new boss years later, and guess what? She got rid of me after a few months. Like that, I was there for like 10 years, my old home in a sense. And then she now comes into my old world, all my old friends, and then promises me I'm going to work still as a freelancer. And the next thing you know, gets rid of me. Like I've always had bad energy about it from the last job. And like, do you confront that person? Like, what do you say? You have bad energy? I mean, how do you
No, not
handle
at
that?
all.
You,
No, because you know
you don't
what
want
is
to,
all,
yeah.
yeah, you don't want to have that confrontation, but no, it's about your boundaries and your standards and your policy. So you have to evaluate what is your policy in your work environment for you that you created all by yourself. I'm not talking about what's in the contract or what's their policy. I'm talking about your
Yep.
policy. You decided in the privacy of your own moment. What's your policy? Your policy might be, I'm going to chill. I'm going to give it a month. You know, I'm only going to be courteous and send lots of love and light, and whatever happens, happens. Or your policy can be, I'm going to give it a week and then I'm going to, you know, invite them for lunch and say, hey, what's going on? Your policy can be, you get it. You
I kill
create.
everyone with kindness, and I always do. And I never confronted her, just letting you know. Even in the end, I just said, "No, thank you so much. Continue to think about me." But
And that can be your policy.
yeah, my
and
policy
and
is
you have to understand the package you chose, and the package you chose was to work in an industry where that can be very, very common.
yes, true.
And you have to understand, it's never personal. You have to understand that your intuition is spot on.
Yeah,
Never doubt it. And you have to understand that nothing is more important than the center balance of your being. Nothing and no one, no titles, including boss, children, spouse, sister, brother, mother, father. Nothing is more important than the center of your being. And my daughter and I were talking yesterday. She has one more year of law school left, and she's like, you know, I'm very blessed to have a job right now while I'm going into school, and I have the best boss in the whole wide world. And I'm going, you know, Brittany, the fact that your very first boss ever is like an angel plucked down from heaven in the London. I mean, I said, you have
amazing.
no idea what's out there. And
What's gonna be next? Yep.
you are going to attract only what you want. She says, I just want you to know, I am not going to work anywhere where I am not happy even for a second. I go, you got it. And you know what? That's your choice and that's your policy and that's your boundary. And you have to understand what you just said. Brittany, you have to understand what package that means. It might, I'm not putting it out there. It might mean you may have to hop around often. And maybe perhaps you look at the bosses that you are dealing with, the colleagues that you're dealing with, and look at, you know, do I need to just let that go? Do I need to just like head up and move on? And what is too much? What is too much where it comes to a point where it's affecting your health? Physically, mentally, emotional. You know, you go home and all you're thinking about or talking about is your day at work. So that's not healthy either. You know, it's creating that balance of truth, creating your boundary, how far you will go, how many times are you going to have the conversation about, do you know what he or she did today? You know, make sense?
I have a cousin that just came home from California. I don't want to
Uh-huh.
commandeer the show. She is 44, 43. she's never had a kid. She just wants to have a kid by herself. And she just got a new job. She works in television, and she hates her boss. And she's so everything she's talking about, she has to stay there because she can get the coverage, she get the free IVF. But all she does is text, and I just saw her in person, talk about this woman who doesn't respect her. She went to HR, then the people around her don't like her. And, I, as a cousin, I still, like, if it's not just a boss, now it's people around you. Like, I want to say, well, maybe it's you. But she's very negative and very down. And my boss, I hate and everything is all about that. And I just felt like the energy on Mother's Day when I saw her, all she did was just, and I'm thinking, she has to change her attitude. You got to be more I said, don't let her bother you. It's easier said than done, but just be positive, be kind, be you. And she just wants to talk about the negative, but it's been like this for like 3 months now, and she's miserable, but she wants to stay because she's going to get those benefits soon that kick in for the free IVF. So,
Right.
perfect
Right,
example
right.
though, about
That is a
changing.
wonderful example, and I would like to peel that back in many different ways. May we?
Yeah, maybe we can even bring her on the show next week. I don't know her schedule,
There
but
you go.
I mean, no, really, you
But
could bring guests.
remember,
You could bring guests on too, by the way.
oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Actually, really good to know. So let's peel this back for a moment. We have to understand, and again, I'm a spiritual life recovery coach and intuitive. So I speak a certain language. We have to understand that everyone has a journey here on earth, and they have given permission to everything that has happened for them for the purpose of learning, teaching, regardless of how heinous a situation is or how absolutely fabulous it is. And this is perhaps a journey for her where she needs to step into her light, do have her boundaries and standards, perhaps, project love and light onto others, or perhaps leave. Or
Yeah,
that might
true.
not be the option
No,
because she
true.
has other priorities in there. So
Mhm.
that's her. Let's put that aside.
Yeah.
Done. Let's take a
Okay.
look at us. The
Okay.
people that are on the receiving end when we hear these types of things. So, because I am very, very sensitive to energy, I cannot afford for a moment to be in a situation which I have allowed where there's going to be a projection of an unproductive, unhealthy energy towards me. And
Mm-hmm.
again, no one does anything to me unless if they
Yeah.
take me by the hair, kicking and screaming. Well, you know what? I really don't have hair, so I don't know about that. But anyway, they can't pull me
Beautiful.
by the hair. They can pull you. So that's a whole different
Intentions.
story.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, because I get so unbalanced and unaligned with this projection of the energy, I'm going to say, I'm going to stop you right there, dear. Tell me 3 solutions that you can do going forward. And you know what? That's all I want to hear from you in regards to that topic. And I love to hear that from you. And they're like, no, yeah, I'm going to stop you right there.
Mm-hmm.
I only want to hear 3 solutions because I am not going to be here to enable you. Because when you keep going over and over and I am listening, if I'm listening to the story for the very first time, okay, give it at least 5 minutes so they can vent.
Yes, we all
But
need
if
that.
you're hearing the story again and again and again and again, this is when you go, I only want to participate in this conversation when it's productive. What are the 3 solutions you have? Let's take a look at it. Now, by the way, you're not the one that's going to come up with all the answers. She or
They
he is.
have to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. They go, no, I just want you to listen. I said, you know what? I heard this before, and I want to be here to inspire.
And help.
I'm only here to inspire. So go ahead and give me 3 solutions. Now, Jill, you tell me what would be, play the devil's advocate for me. What would be, play the devil's advocate? What maybe don't you like about that, if
What
anything?
what I don't like about that?
Correct.
Well,
If in either end.
well, because I mean, my cousin's gonna like get mad at me maybe for being so aggressive to try to help her. She might not consider it help. She might think like, why is my, she might get defensive towards me, right? Because I'm offering a help and a solution, but she might get mad at me if I'm so
All right.
open
What
and
does that
honest.
sound like? You be the
Um,
cousin and I'm you. I'm Jill. Hi, everybody. I'm Jill.
yeah, like I'm obnoxious. Why is she butting into my life? Like I'm just, yeah.
Well, you know what? I want to have different for you because don't you want to be at peace? Don't you want to have calm? Don't you want to go to work
And
and
feel
feel
good. Yeah.
really good, cousin? Don't you?
And if nothing's working now, then maybe there's something you could start doing different. Joy. Her
Yeah,
name's
it's your
Joy. Okay.
boundaries, your standards,
Mm-hmm.
your policy. And you see, that is something different. So, you know what? I only want to hear solutions. And if you want to talk to me about anything, I only want to hear solutions. I can hear about something of the backstory for about a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
Once, I repeat, once,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want to hear solutions.
Yeah.
So, okay, role play finished. So, Jill, what this creates is that people know exactly where you stand.
Yep.
And you're like, well, but then I might not belong. And then, okay, what power? What what are you putting power to? And do you really want to be in an atmosphere or in a relationship of any sort or a connection that is
No.
not your match?
No.
No, including inviting people over to your home to stay there for 2 or 3 weeks. Do you realize that your
Yep.
home is your sanctuary?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that energy in a home is a big deal
Mm-hmm.
because you get to create it and you create whenever you want to create it to be? So I believe that if we're doing anything else because we're thinking different than our faces show, like you can be nodding and smiling, yeah, and meanwhile you're thinking, I think I'm just going to kill myself right now.
Done that. We've all done that. Uh-huh.
Right? Because if I hear this story one more time, I think I'll even shoot her.
Lord.
Yeah,
Yes.
God, I wish I was in yoga right now. I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to hear this anymore. Yeah, right. So you're not giving the truth of in terms of a message. What
Yeah.
message are you sending? Because everyone with me, every second of the day knows where they stand with me. They know where it's, healthy and content and pleasing for me, and they know if there's something that I'm not too amused with.
Yeah.
I just thought of something.
What?
I walk into a networking meeting and I love that room in that restaurant. It's so pretty, and the table's usually in the middle, like a queen's table. And suddenly I walk into that room. They cut up the table in threes, and there's something in one corner, and there's another table in another corner. I go, oh, this is networking.
Yeah.
No, we're supposed to be together.
Uh-huh.
Energy. Oh my God, you should have heard me. I was a pain in the butt for for
Ah,
the
I love it.
director.
Yeah.
But yes, energy is everything. So anyway, what we were talking about before with the with really creating your space every second of the day of what is a match for you and being in balance and alignment, doesn't that make sense?
So it does. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to stick to it.
All right. But and hold on. Got to remind us how we contact you. We still have some time, but we got to remind everyone just tuning in. Ingrid, Simply True.
Of course.
.com.
So you can simply get a hold of me just going on simplytrue.com. Or you know what? Why don't we try a phone number? Why don't we do 818
I like
800 8946? Again, that's 818 800 8946. And text is best. And if you text Jill, there just might be a really great discount in there for you.
Yes. What is the discount? Remember
Well,
this.
text
It's a good
and
one.
then you will
Text Jill,
see.
you will receive. Awesome.
And
That's
you
a
know
great
what?
one.
My consultation for 15 minutes is free if we are a match, because I am blessed to handpick my clients. Because who are my clients? Who is the ideal client for me? The one that goes, I'm done. I
Yeah.
am done of this drama. I am done of like chasing my tail. I want to shift, I want to grow, I want something different, but I just don't know how. So I'm not a rescuer. Okay. I'm just an aligner to put you on a pathway that fits you, not that
Yeah.
fits me and society, that fits you. So if that is a match in our phone call, then I invite you to a 1 hour free session and then we take it from there.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right. We still got time, Ingrid. We're on a roll. And I'm
Well,
sidetracked
what
now.
questions do you have for me, for God's sakes?
Oh God, you're just so awesome. Gosh, I wish I lived closer. By the way, you're in Phoenix, right?
You know I'm global, right?
I know you are, but like I
You
wish you
know
were
we
like
have Zoom. It's a really neat thing that we have. It's called
no, but
Zoom.
I want to like hang out with you. Like I wish I have 6 and 8 year old, but I don't. Yeah, but the last time I was in Scottsdale with my mom, like 6, 7 years ago. Are you close to there?
I live in Scottsdale, but my office is in downtown Phoenix.
Oh my gosh, awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh, what is the name of the little country bar that I like? Anyway, but I love your town. When I come back, I'm looking you up. So
There you
questions
go.
for you. Well, clearly you also have a book that I could see there on the side.
Sort
Can
of,
you help
kind
with
of.
us? The emotion code.
Yes,
What
I
is
have
it?
a book. You can get it on
Emotional
Amazon. It's a dictionary.
dictionary. There it is. Yep.
It's called An Emotional Dictionary to the Soulful Self. Could you imagine a dictionary for the emotions? Where was this when I was 8? Okay, very good.
Um, I just think it's important to get to know you and the work you're doing. Could you just share some story or two before we go? I want to.
Sure.
What do you want to talk about? Because
I do have different modalities. Just this past weekend, we did a beautiful, huge workshop um, in Chandler, where we invited spiritual people and light workers and light-minded people. And the energy in that room was so amazing. It was for almost half a day. We had potluck. And so, I do workshops, I do clinics, I do energy clearings, I do it remotely or in person. I do intuitive readings as well. Those are deep. And those, we go into past lives, Akashic records, your guides, your angels, even people that have passed away. If there's messages, we never know what's going to come up because we never know what's going to come up. But that's the whole point of an intuitive reading. Hello.
mhm.
So do that, and of course the I'm an alternative to therapy. So the individual sessions, family sessions, couples. It's really funny with couples. I have many couples. However, I don't do them as a couple
Uh-huh.
because I don't believe in that. I
Got it.
believe in separately and
Individually.
and I know stuff, which is so great. I know stuff about another, but I can't tell anybody.
You're so
Those are
funny.
fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, so either I cause divorces or I bring new marriages. Do you
You're
know how many divorces I've helped cause?
I can
But do you know how
imagine.
many new flames have been created in the happiness and the health? There you go.
I
So,
love it.
yeah, there's always stories within those, of course. Um, but that's my modality, and sky is the limit. And there's no excuse. I'm global. We can do it over the phone. We can do Zoom. If you're in the area, we can do it in person. And I have clients forever.
Oh.
Yes, I have weekly clients, and then I have quarterly clients, or just a couple times a year to check in for maintenance. Mostly, I have just once a month clients, and it's just really beautiful because life happens,
Yep.
life changes, people change, um, situation change with work, with children. Oh my gosh, and things come up, and you can just stand there with like a deer in headlights, and it's like, okay, I
Yep.
need to talk to Ingrid. Ah!
Well, we love having you here. You're full of light, full of energy, and another 3 minutes talk. What else?
Okay, so
I just had a
what
cancellation,
is
so I get 3 more minutes on the clock for you. Go, go,
oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. I think that we have to really remember that everyone is really, really powerful.
go. Mm-hmm.
And I think that we are in a society where that actually is communicated through the front door and through the back door, is that we are less than that. There's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of expectations, And when you enter spirituality, spirituality is religion is a group journey and spirituality is an individual one, and it's customized. And there's no rules because there's no such things as rules in spirituality. There's only cause and effect. And you get to choose, because when you stand in your power and you stand in your light, it truly, truly is your choice. And if at that moment you just don't really have a choice at that moment, know that it's temporary and you have a choice of how you view it, how you think about it. And then you can have a goal in terms of when you're actually out of that situation. So everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. So always understand that we have lots of changes in our lives in the past, and those passed too, didn't it? You can't even think of what happened on May 2nd in 2003 at 2:30. Well, that was the time that you thought the world was coming to an end and you were so stressed. And guess what?
Yeah.
You don't even remember that anymore.
It's so true.
So then, for Pete's sakes, I mean, everything is perfect exactly how it is. And I think next time that we speak, if we don't have a guest, we can talk about that.
Perfect.
How everything and everyone is perfect exactly
like a plan.
they are, because everything is meant to be.
I agree. Well, I'm away next week, so I don't know if you're going to be filling in with someone else or I see you the next week. And again, feel free to, if you have a client that wants to talk about some of the work you're doing or have done, we could always bring them on the Zoom and chat with us too and talk. Okay.
Wonderful. Great to know.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate it. And again, just look me up at simplytrue.com. Simplytrue.com.
Thank you so much.
Hear it, simplytrue.com.
Simplytrue.com. And also, if you text the number, what's the number one more time?
818-800-8946. 818-800-8946.
Perfect. And if you put my name in the text, Jill, you'll get a special discount. Thank you so much, Ingrid. Have a fantastic day and an even better week. You're awesome.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.